Welcome to Discussing Dad Life, also known as DDL. This is Null on Void, where we talk about various topics. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like our content.
1. I am so proud of my son. He can count backwards from 5.
Fuck. Burn! Okay, so
13 years of life, and that's all he's learned so far. Wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Tells you a lot about society and where we're headed. So we're going to be talking about some current events. To start it off with the Donald Trump indictment, some updates, and
in the
Fulton
County prosecutor or DA, whatever.
I don't know, dude. The more and more I watch about it, it's just, it confirms, you know what I mean? Like all the crooked shit, man.
It's nuts. So why don't you go ahead and get it pulled up on screen so everyone can follow along with us there. Thank you, sir. Okay. So Senator Colton Moore from Georgia, who is a firm Donald Trump supporter. Is calling for an emergency special session of the state's legislator to investigate the actions of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, which he said could lead to, I can't see, the camera's in the way, impeachment proceedings. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
One down.
Yeah, there we go. On Monday, Willis charged Trump with 18 of his associates over allegations they broke the law while attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election result in Georgia. Yeah.
The former president is facing 13 counts.
There you go.
This includes one of violating Georgia's racketeer influence and corrupt organizations, the RICO Act, which carries a maximum prison sentence of 20 years.
So why was the RICO's even? Do you know why the RICO laws were even brought around?
If memory serves me correct, it was to take down mafias and shit, right?
It was to take down mob bosses and stuff. Yeah, because it was hard to prove.
So Trump's not just a badass; he's a mob badass now?
Yeah, he's the head of a mob, man. Don't you know?
Fuck.
Trump has fervently denied any wrongdoing, with his legal team saying that the indictment is flawed and unconstitutional, ripping a page from crooked Joe Biden's playbook. Willis has strategically stalled her investigation to try and maximize interference in the 2024 presidential election or presidential race and damage the dominant words are hard, man. Dominant Trump campaign. Read a statement on Trump's Truth social account. Yeah. So,
all right. So break that down for our viewers.
You want me to break it down?
Yeah, I want you to break it down.
Well, so
because this is getting comical at this point.
It is. I mean, okay. So basically, what they've done is she's going after Trump and 18 other people that are associated with Trump.
Trump supporters, yeah.
Not even Trump supporters. Trump lawyers, right? So now, being a lawyer in America, if you have a legal theory that the left doesn't like, they're going to prosecute you. It's all intimidation.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
This goes back to that how I said the Democrats are a terrorist organization.
Yeah, domestic terrorism. Yeah.
They are domestic terrorists because they are trying to use fear to elicit a political response, and going after lawyers that put forth legal theories is a form of terrorism. I mean, they are trying to use fear in order.
What happened to nobody's above the law? Isn't intimidating a witness and all that shit illegal as all hell?
They're not intimidating.
What else? I mean, honestly,
they're using the law to make sure people are held accountable.
There is such a thing as legal intimidation because.
Well, it's political warfare.
Exactly.
Or not political warfare. It's what is it called? Lawfare. That's the term.
Lawfare. All right, fine. I'll take that.
So it's like sixth generational warfare is lawfare, right? Fifth generation warfare is
I say we let Trump and Biden in a ring, put on some gloves. You know what I mean? We could sell it on pay-per-view, make some money, donate it to the people in Hawaii.
I don't think that's a good idea, dude.
Why not?
Well, Joe Biden's so frail. Donald Trump hits him one time, he dies. Now Trump committed murder.
He signs a waiver.
I'm just saying, let's think this thing through a little bit logically here. Like we're basically setting it up for he's gonna be whatever
murderer. Yeah. I get it. Oh, anyways, all right.
So scroll down there for me, bud.
You scroll down a little, please. Okay, so that's the
That's
the
Fani
attorney.
Willis, yep. Okay, so Trump has been indicted in separate cases over allegations he orchestrated the payment of hush money to pornographic actress, mishandled classified documents, and used illegal tactics while attempting to reverse Joe Biden's 2020 election victory nationwide. Again, the former president has denied any wrongdoing. So this is interesting that they finally start actually, or not finally, that they're listing it out right here, right? So the hush money to pornographic actress, that's the Stormy Daniels story,
Stormy
right?
Daniels.
That's the one in New York that's going on that Alvin Bragg's doing.
Yeah.
And that's some very unique legal framework that actually stretches the law even further past. There is no
statute of limitations.
There is no law that actually like allows him to do this. But that one's completely legal. However, the Constitution sets forth that you do have a right to contest elections, and these are the legal tools that you should do to use
I thought you were supposed to. It was like your duty.
But those lawyers,
you know what I mean?
Those lawyers are getting indicted. This guy who's fabricating a complete new legal theory that has no basis is completely legal, right?
It's such a crock, man.
You see the double standards? So there are two legal standards in the U.S.
Okay.
Technically, there's three. There's those that are above the law, those that are, whatever at the law, and there's those that are below the law. So you got the Democrats up here that are above the law. Allegedly above the law. They think they are. Then you got everyday humans like you and me, where we're right here.
We're put in our place.
However, I would argue that pretty soon there's not even going to be that middle ground work.
No.
We're actually going to be all in the Trump bucket, which is the below the law. No matter what you do, everything you do is illegal, right?
Well, that's why they want all our information. They want everything so they can control us, man. And this is just like you were saying, this is a fear tactic to keep us there.
Yep. Shout out Oliver Anthony.
Oh yeah. Whoop, whoop.
So it's interesting. So the Stormy Daniels one, he's going to get found guilty no matter what. It's New York; they're going to find him guilty.
He can still run for president after that, can he?
He can. Mishandled classified documents. Okay, so that's not framed right.
Oh, here we go.
Right, because he didn't mishandle classified documents.
Handled them better than everybody else that got caught with classified documents.
What they always fail to do here is they fail to realize that the president has the power to declassify, right?
Yes.
So if I'm not mistaken, the way Trump actually set it up was anytime that he took a document home for reference, that automatically became declassified.
That's what I thought.
So what that meaning is he didn't have classified documents, he had declassified documents. The state's arguing that the president doesn't have the power. Unfortunately, the Constitution gives the president, and only the president, the power to do that.
Okay, which brings me to my point. Why do all these other people have classified documents in their garage, in their Corvette, or
Joe Biden
China?
As a senator, Hillary Clinton,
I hate that
Mike
bitch.
Pence. I'm just saying, and the funny thing is if they find, I would completely be fine with them putting Donald Trump in prison if they put Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Mike Pence, anyone, all these other guys in prison along with him for doing the exact same thing. I would be completely happy to sacrifice Donald Trump in that regard. I think Donald Trump would actually be happy to sacrifice himself.
Maybe let's ask him. Hey Trump. Hey Trump Daddy.
Yeah. Let's know. Okay, so and used illegal tactics while attempting to reverse Joe Biden's 2020 election victories nationwide. They weren't illegal. What they're trying to say is they take things out of context and try to make it appear that they're illegal, but there are actually legal ramifications. And the funny thing is basically being an election denier, they're saying if you denied that Joe Biden won this, you're guilty.
Yeah.
But what about Stacey Abrams? What about Hillary Clinton? Right?
Yeah.
All these people have denied elections. Are they all guilty?
Right.
Because they exhausted their legal actions in trying to do that? Were they illegal in doing that?
That shit's so frustrating, man.
It is just absolutely asinine that they continue doing this.
Yeah.
So polling indicates Trump is, by some margin, the most popular potential 2024.
By some, I like how they minimize
Republican presidential campaign or candidate with GOP voters, meaning his legal travails. That's a weird word. I don't know. I got the chord right in the way, so I think that's an L. Trivials?
Travails.
Well, interesting. I don't even know what.
I don't think I've ever seen that word. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Legal.
Are likely to have
Maybe it's a typo.
Significant? Is that what it says? I can't see it's behind the camera.
Yeah, have a significant impact on who occupies the White House from January 2025 onward. And I just saw this at the bottom of the screen. I want to read this. This is the senator that wanted the special counsel.
No, he's calling for the special session.
Session, thank you, not council session.
So scroll down a little bit there, bud. Let's go ahead and see the.
It's not Twitter anymore. It's X.
It's X.
You think the X-Men are real?
So check this out, right? So Elon owns SpaceX.
Go back up. Right there.
So Elon owns SpaceX,
Yes.
space exploration, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Now he owns X, and you can host an X space. Sorry,
X marks the spot.
X marks the spot. I just think it's interesting. And then didn't he just launch a new coin? The XBIM, XMIB, something
XML.
like that. XML. Thank you.
He didn't launch it. It's been there, but I think he's using it for something. Don't quote me on that. I haven't finished my research on XLM yet.
So we're going off on a tangent a little bit, but I do know that this actually is not a bad idea. So in China, they have WeChat? That is like a social media, instant messaging, phone call. But then you can also buy stuff with it, right? Mm-hmm. It seems that Elon's trying to do this with X.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, especially if he
wants to make
actually use it.
Yeah, I know he wants to make his own financial system.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I might be wording that a little off, but more or less from what I've read thus far, it's like he's trying to make his own financial system.
Gotcha. Okay. You wanted this one, so you.
I do. I want it. Well, because I keep hearing about this, and I don't want my view of this to be inaccurate. So,
hold on. Before you start, we are using Newsweek as the source, which I think is like NewsGuard certified and whatnot. And it's not a right wing publication, so I don't think that we only look at right wing stuff.
Yeah, we try to.
I look at pretty much everything, and I just laugh at like CNN and stuff like that because they just frame everything so wrong.
How anybody still watches CNN is beyond me. How they are still open for business, so to speak.
Aren't they the most trusted source of news or something like that? Isn't
that
what
their
they're
claim? Telling? Lying to people with?
Lying to people is accurate, yeah. So, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. All right. As a Georgia State Senator, I am officially calling for an emergency session to review the actions of Fani Willis. America is under attack. I'm not going to sit back and watch as radical left prosecutors politically target political opponents. And then there's the document.
We, the undersigned, being duly elected members of the Georgia House of Representatives and Georgia Senate, are comprising 3/5 of each representative house pursuant to Article 4, Section 2, Paragraph 7B, hereby certify to you in writing, which a copy of the Secretary's with us, copy of this to the Secretary of State, that in our opinion, an emergency exists in the affairs of the state, requiring a special session to be convened under the section for all purposes to include, without limitation, the review in response to the actions of Fani Willis. So that
seems pretty straightforward.
It is pretty straightforward. They're basically wanting to dig into like, hey, what are your actions going?
Yeah, what are your intentions here?
I don't think the intentions matter. I think they're wanting to see if she's doing everything by the book. Right?
Yeah, that's probably more better.
Because from the outside looking in, it to me, from the outside looking in, it is very apparent that she's abusing her office.
Oh, definitely. Power to control.
Yep. Same with Elvin Bragg. He's abusing his power.
And you know
Jack
what?
Smith is abusing his power. I mean, all these guys are abusing the system.
A lot of these Democrats are, man. And I'm not saying that Republicans are completely in the clear here, because there's corruption on both sides.
Oh yeah, I mean, establishment Republicans that go along with it are just as compliant.
Yeah, but this is in the forefront of news, and like. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're talking about it. This is our current event section, you know.
Well, it has ramifications.
It does. It sets a precedent
for you and for me. Has ramifications for our kids. I mean, this is not something that's tiny. It needs to actually be brought out and shine a light on.
Well, how any of this is not how these people have not been arrested for this thus far is beyond me.
Well, it's 100% true. So the reason I say this is an abuse of office, and the reason why this actually has a direct line up to Joe Biden as abuse of office, is because the simple fact that Jack Smith is a federal prosecutor who reports up through the DOJ to Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland is the top attorney.
Yeah.
He's the attorney general who reports directly to the President of the United States. So all this stuff
that sounds shady.
Is direct line right up to Joe Biden. So if I would push for, if the Republicans here can find that Fani Willis actually did abuse her power to do this and fabricated evidence or whatever, in order to get this done, then there's a good chance that Jack Smith is doing it, right? And then
then all of them should be investigated.
They should be.
And to be honest with you, I think there should automatically be some sort of an investigation when it's political like this.
The simple fact is, this is banana republic territory.
Right
now. There's been a reason why the incumbent presidents are never investigated or never held to any responsibility. And that's because it opens up a Pandora's box where basically now every time the position changes, everyone starts doing, coming after it. I know Donald Trump during the 2015 election cycle when he started was talking about lock her up, talk about Hillary Clinton. Unfortunately, they didn't. Unfortunately, they didn't. But in a way, that was actually good that they didn't lock her up, though, right? It was great messaging because she was obviously guilty of a crap ton of crimes. God. But having the foresight of just like, hey, you should be in jail, and then not actually doing it actually says, okay, we're going to follow cultural norms.
Yeah, but now
they're breaking all the cultural norms.
I don't know.
But there's a reason why they're doing it.
Because they're running out of options.
They're starting to lose the culture war.
Yeah, which I never thought would happen.
Right? Bud Light's tanking. Target for the first time in 6 years took a massive hit.
They didn't they shut down some plants for Bud Light or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was some third party manufacturers that made their bottles or cans or something like that ended up losing it. But they're losing the culture war, and because you're losing the culture war, they're really not having as much power as they once had. Right. So the only thing left that they do have is raw political power, which is attacking the opposition.
No, and you guys are showing your true colors and. We the people see everything you're doing.
So what's another really good thing is, so after this indictment came out against Trump did do a call for all other GOP candidates to drop out of the field, which actually makes a lot of smart
break that down
strategic
for
sense,
the people.
right? So Trump basically saying, hey, everyone else back out of the field is saying, hey, let me have the nomination. Because if he is found guilty in any of these things in New York or Pennsylvania or Ohio or Michigan or Georgia, decide, hey, you were guilty of a crime, you can't be on the ballot. Now we're removing your name off the ballot. So when 2024 election comes around and for president you only have Democrat Joe Biden, it's going to be a massive like, wait a minute, there's always two. I always have a choice. Now all of a sudden I only have one. And people are going to be like, what the hell happened?
Yep, and then they're going to look into it themselves.
And then they're going to realize how corrupt the Democrat Party actually was in basically using raw political power to subvert your voice, your choice in a leader and say, no, you only have one choice, and that's our choice.
Which is what they want anyways.
Yeah, they don't care about anything other than power.
Yeah.
And they'll do anything they can to win.
Keep it. Yeah.
I mean, they changed the laws. And then the Supreme Court really let me down on that one when Texas sued Pennsylvania on that one. They should have actually listened to that case.
Yeah.
I mean, they changed the laws, illegally changed the laws, and then
was it like the night before or something? Like
within like the 6 months leading up to the election, they were changing laws and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember.
And the Constitution says that the state legislator has the power to set elections, not the governor, not these elected non-elected officials that are like the elections commissioners and stuff like that. So there was just a lot of irregularities that were done, and then the courts would not listen to the irregularities. Which in some ways I understand the courts didn't want to wade into that political battle. They just kicked the can further down the road.
Yeah, and now they're going to have to do it eventually anyways.
Yeah. I mean, so let's say that Trump gets indicted, or he's already indicted. Let's say he gets convicted and Michigan decides to keep him off the ballot. Joe Biden wins. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a strong argument to be made that that election might not be legitimate. You know, I'm just saying. You know, what they don't care, but what they're basically doing is creating so much societal unease.
They are stirring the shit out of our pot, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm nervous. I'm really nervous for election time.
Well, everyone talks about like, okay, so did you know that there are certain political killings a year? There's a certain amount that once you hit a certain amount, civil war is inevitable. So I guess for like the last like 6 or 7 years, we've been at or exceeded that number.
Oh yeah, dude.
So that's not saying that civil war is coming. That's just saying there's an indication that this is typically what happens.
There's a good probability.
And the simple fact is, if the Democrats continue playing this game and continuing to try to subvert the will of the people, there is going to be issues in this country. I mean, so
there's already issues in this country, though. Like,
so I guess what I'm saying is like a heating up of the issues, right? Oh. So right now, it almost seems like we are in a civil war, slightly. And the reasoning why is just because there are political killings, right?
Yeah.
That one dude the one Trump supporter up in, was it Seattle or whatever, that freaking got stalked and then gunned down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Funny thing is, most of the time that I'm hearing about this stuff, it's not the right attacking the left. It's actually the left attacking the right.
Go figure.
Yeah. Well, that's because the right are a lot more tolerant, right? Which is interesting because the left is the one that pushes tolerance, but it's actually, if you look at, which is why Donald Trump ran in the Republican, which is why Vivek Ramaswamy is running as a Republican. The right typically tends to be more tolerant,
logical,
and accepting of others' viewpoints than the left. The left tends to preach tolerism, but it's only tolerism as long as you fall in line with what they want. If not, they will take you out.
They're just so ass backwards, man. Like everything they say or do, I hear them talk, but then their policies are for the exact opposite, or their policies are one way, and then they start talking about them, and they're talking about something completely different.
So Democrats have a great marketing plan. They're great at marketing, right?
They've got Facebook and everybody in their pocket.
So AOC's Green New Deal, right? So
I hate that chick. Look like a chihuahua.
So anyway, the Green New Deal sounds great on face value.
Yeah.
You know, the New Deal, everyone remembers the New Deal from FDR being this wonderful freaking piece of legislation. Actually, it was a pile of garbage. It ended up basically
they wrap
whatever.
It nicely.
But they're really good at marketing. But if you actually dive into what the hell they're wanting, it has nothing to do with what they're trying to market it as. Like that one with the TikTok ban. You remember that bill that was coming out?
Oh, there's another one with that too, by the way, coming out soon. And this is a Republican trying to get rid of that shit. But anyways, that's the side story.
Unfortunately, just because you're on the right in the Republican Party doesn't make you good.
No, I know. Well, that's what we're always saying. There's crime on both sides, man.
Like freaking Republicans most of them are just as bad as Democrats.
Yeah, they just don't. Never mind.
But yeah, so I guess if you're talking about the rule and the exception, the rule is that the Republicans are going to be better for us, and the exception is the Democrats.
You choose the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, Republicans tend to be the lesser of two evils, in my opinion.
We need to start over, I think.
Well, no, I think the Republican Party is shifting. It has been. I've seen it shifting the last 10 years.
Oh shit!
The rise of Trump, the rise of MAGA in the Trump party, it's actually an indication that the Republican Party is not as one viewed as we once thought they were. Like they used to be the party of the corporate elitists, right?
Okay.
Now the corporate elites are actually Democrats,
yeah.
Which is interesting. But we have such wide variety in the Republican field now, and one reason why I think Trump is because he did kick down the doors. Now you actually have
he did.
different viewpoints rising up through the Republican parties challenging him. The problem is the Republicans like to infight a lot more than they do like to fight the Democrats.
Opposition.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
It's politics.
They're
man.
garbage. So go ahead and scroll down a little bit more for us. Sorry, we got off on a tangent on that one. Yep, go back up. Right there.
Not there.
On Thursday, Moore wrote to Georgia Governor Brian Kemp requesting the convening of a special session to review and respond to the actions of Fannie Willis. Did you hear the conspiracy theorists? I can't remember who posed it, but it was interesting.
Which one?
Around Brian Kemp.
No.
Okay, so
I'm all about conspiracies. You know that. I haven't heard this.
So the conspiracy is that Brian Kemp actually lost to Stacey Abrams, and that Brian Kemp rigged the election in order to win over Stacey, and that the Democrats found out about it and are holding it as leverage over him to not do anything and interfere with the investigation into Trump.
This. How have I not heard this?
It's absolutely hilarious, right? Well, first off, the reason
I'm gonna need to see some evidence.
the reason I know this isn't true is for two reasons. One, Brian Kemp does not have the power to just pardon Trump. He has to commission a parole board or a pardon.
Yeah, it's not like he's the president
or whatever. Well, no, because since it's a state level issue that he's getting tried as a state crime.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So Brian Kemp could theoretically do something if Georgia was set up on like Idaho, where the Idaho governor does actually have pardoning powers.
That's got to be in their constitution, though, right?
But Georgia does not have, the governor does not have pardoning powers in Georgia.
Oh, so then what the?
They have the only thing they can do is put together like a pardon commission where they go and actually look to see if they want to pardon them.
Oh my God.
Right. And then there was something else where there's one other thing that in most states the governor has the power, but in Georgia they don't. I can't remember exactly what it was. But there are two main things that he actually doesn't have the power to do. So that conspiracy just kind of falls apart once you realize there's nothing Brian could do anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's
he's sitting there like, what?
like, go have fun with it, guys.
Run it.
Oh, sorry. So posting on X, formerly Twitter.
More later added.
I launched the process to investigate Fani Willis for targeting Donald Trump. He says, I launched the process to investigate Fani Willis for targeting Donald Trump. No more empty promises, no more talking in circles. The time for action is now. We must fund her office and, if appropriate, impeach.
That sounds like a call to action to me.
That is a call to action. That's surprising coming from a Republican.
I know, right? They're way more conservative than, you know.
Well, no. Republicans are. I mean, they don't do. Oh, don't do that.
That's what I'm saying. They don't stand up and like you know what I mean, loud, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah. So good on you, bro. I'll take it.
Hashtag you.
Hashtag you. However, the chances of a special session of the Georgia legislature taking place appear low. Article 5 of Georgia's Constitution states a special session can be convened at the request of either the state governor or a 3/5 majority of both the Senate and House representatives. While Kemp is a Republican, he has repeatedly rejected Trump's claim that the 2020 presidential election was rigged in Georgia. Okay, yeah, that's not false, but it's also kind of misleading.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to imply that because he's rejected that claim, that he won't help. Right.
So I see what you're saying.
There's two different parts to this, right? Because two things can be true at once.
Yeah.
Kemp can say that Trump's claims were wrong, right?
Yeah.
And that's his right to. He's in control of the state. He's looking at it and be like, hey, you know, according to our investigation, there was nothing irregular about it.
Yeah.
And Trump can still be doing this, but at the same time, he can also step back and say, hey, I agree with you that this wasn't right, but you shouldn't be getting prosecuted for it. There's two different things. Allowed. Like that doesn't imply that it's going to be low just because he thinks this. I mean, but that's how kind of one dimensional they are.
That's how they do it on purpose.
I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or if that's literally the level of their intellect. Right?
All right. I get, all right.
I'm sorry, but I like how the Democrats always are like, oh, we're more educated.
Like they're just dumb. Let me break that down.
Well, so it's always funny going on X or going on Facebook and seeing these leftists are always talking about how educated they are and they're so smart. But when you listen to their arguments, it's like, I have a 4-year-old that can make more coherent arguments than me. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, intelligence and education are not the equivalent.
No, they are two different things, man.
I do like it when they're just like, well, what's your degree in? And I'm just like, I have a master's in business administration. And then they just shut up. It's like what? I have an education, but I'm also intelligent.
Yeah,
like,
you are.
Don't come and talk to me. Oh, I have a bachelor's in freaking basket weaving. I'm like, what is it? Okay, that's cool. You have a bachelor's in basket weaving.
He said in basket weaving. That's one of those political science majors, isn't it?
Yes.
I almost had an associate's degree, side note. Anyways.
Fair enough.
I'm qualified.
So Kemp said that it was not stolen just days after the Willis indictment was announced. Okay, well, that's cool. He's maintaining his thought process, which is it wasn't stolen. I mean, I think Brian Kemp's made that abundantly clear over the last few years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So, I don't understand how that has anything to do with it. The GOP does have a majority in both chambers of the Georgia General Assembly, but not the 2/3 majorities that are required to convene a special session. Moreover, no other state-level Republican lawmakers were listed as signatures on Moore's letter requesting such a session to take place. Okay, so they're putting it out there, and then they're framing it to be like, while it's out there, don't worry about it because the Republicans are...
They don't have enough anyways.
And I'm just like... Actually, I agree with that because the Republicans are basically do nothing anyway. I guarantee Georgia's not going to take this up and do a special session.
No, but I don't think
Brian Kemp has the balls to actually wade into this war.
You don't think so?
No.
And Kemp is the governor?
Kemp's the governor, yeah. He's always struck me as a weak governor.
I don't remember him very much, but
our governor is a weak governor too.
Crapo?
No, Little.
Oh, that's right.
Crapo's our senator, yeah.
Yeah.
Most Republican governors are weak-willed. You have a few that are outstandish, like
Texas.
DeSantis and Abbott from Texas.
I like him.
Those ones are pretty good. If Christy Lake would have won, or Carrie Lake would have won down in Arizona,
that would have been so cool.
That would have been amazing just to watch her tear everyone apart.
Well, I think she would have secured her border a lot better, but that's a whole other thing.
But for the most part, most Republican governors are establishment Republicans. I mean, Little is Mitt Romney, but like Little, I have no faith that Little would actually stand or push back against anything that the Democrats are trying to do, which is sad. This is something I think the people should do is get more involved with their
local politics,
their state political votes. Right?
I think we need to start holding these people accountable for not being the voice of the people, which is what we elect them for.
Well. So the reason I say let's start getting better governors elected, like Bundy would have been a great governor.
I don't remember him.
Bundy would have been a great governor for Idaho.
Al Bundy?
No. Oh, crap, I can't remember his first name. But it was the one with the Bundy Ranch where they were the federal government came in and was killing his cows and trying to take his land.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah,
that.
right. Basically, that it was looking like it was going to be a Waco 2.0, where the federal government just came in and just started murdering people. But that thankfully didn't happen. But he would have been a much better governor for Idaho in the simple fact that I don't think Little has the balls to stand up against the federal government.
I mean, it's sad to see, like, so you're elected and then just not keep their word, man. Like, where's your sense of honor and duty and integrity? You know, like, I mean, maybe that's just me. But usually when I say I'm going to do something or I keep my word. And that's how I've always been since I was a little kid. So like you're going to sit here and have all this following, so to speak, and then I'm going to do this for the and then just I'm okay, you know. That irritates me.
So like I left one very important governor off my list that I have a lot of respect for. Kristi Neal. From South Dakota.
Oh, yeah. She's cool.
Is it South Dakota? Yeah, South Dakota.
Yeah.
She's bomb. She was a great governor, or is a great governor.
Yeah, she still is.
Yeah, we need more people like Kristi. She moved to Idaho. I'd elect you.
I feel saying. Like there's
no, I'm just saying, dude. Like
double meaning to "I'll elect you."
Oh no double meaning at all. Like I thought the way she did a lot of her stuff during COVID was just
really good.
She did an amazing job, and
she kept
I'm
the
a little
whole state
jealous
open.
that I didn't. She did. I mean, so there was like Abbott, DeSantis, and Neom. Those are like the three that were kind of like the highlights of the pandemic era.
Yeah, governors. They didn't shut their states down.
And they just come across as strong leaders. I'm being deadly serious. I know you are. I think she'd be great for the state of Idaho.
I think the people that tend to not follow the trend in politics tend to be the better candidates.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They
100%.
tend to be the more outspoken, the more vibrant, the more people to get something done.
100%.
You know, and I like that. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's why I think Trump is so powerful, because he doesn't just go along with the flow. You know what I mean? He's going to stand there and he's going to say, "Wait a second." He starts questioning things, or he starts he's a man of action.
Yep.
So
100%.
and that's what we need more of. Personally, in my opinion.
Yeah. So yeah, we're good here. Scroll down slightly a little bit more there, Bood. Bood. Even if the special session was convened, it is unclear how it will defund Willis's office. The funding level is decided by the Fulton County Commission rather than the Georgia General Assembly directly. I can't. I'm going to butcher that, so I'm not going to do a disservice and disrespect him like that. He is a university law professor and former duty district attorney.
Sorry, bud.
A special session of the Georgia House Legislature might be able to remove Willis, but this was extremely legally contentious. So, yeah, I think we'll end it here on this one because it highlights what's going on there, and now it's just going to give like their cured opinions as to why it's not going to work.
They're doctored opinions.
I mean, you can tell just from the framing that what they want to happen. They're just putting it out there because it's newsworthy, but they don't want anyone to actually jump on this and think it's even possible. So, I know we were going to move into the Maui's fires. Yeah. Because you had some information on that one.
So we're going to get into conspiracies.
I kind of opened the door on the conspiracy aspect, so let's get it.
So, you know what a dew is, right? Not a Mountain Dew.
Like a dew, like a D-U-E, like
no,
something.
D-E-W.
D-E-W. Oh, like the dew left from condensate overnight.
A direct
right?
energy weapon.
Oh, so a D period E period W. Yeah. Okay, a direct energy weapon. Okay, I got you. I got what you're saying.
So anyways, there's just okay. So we'll just started with this. All right, that fire was horrible. It was tragic. A lot of people lost a lot of things and people. And, my heart's out, or my condolences.
Gotcha.
But how is it that a wildfire is? I'm trying to word this correctly. You can't really predict where a fire goes, right? I mean, it just burns, right?
Well, you can make predictions on where it's going to go based on like wind speeds and stuff like that, yeah, right?
But more or less, it's just gonna burn everywhere. It doesn't burn in a straight line, then hang a hard right, and then burn more, and then take a hard left, and
a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It doesn't do that. Well, all the fire itself, I've been watching videos and looking up news articles and stuff, and like people are comparing certain characteristics of a fire and putting a lot of science behind it, or at least theories, and it doesn't make sense, man.
Okay,
this fire does not make sense. Okay. And people are suggesting that it was a direct energy weapon.
So you're talking lasers from space?
Yeah, I guess.
We already kind of theorized, or that's been something that's talked about.
Apparently, they have planes. I saw this I forget what company it is, but they build lasers for aircraft for the United States military, and it's a legitimate thing. You can look it up. I just can't remember what the company's name is.
Okay.
And apparently, there's a lot of weird flight patterns lately on certain planes that are flying over these. But before the fires are actually starting, there's these planes, and they're flying in certain patterns, and the next thing you know, there's a fire in the exact same pattern.
Like legit, you can actually overlay.
Yeah,
and see it.
I saw it just the other day, actually, yesterday.
We're going to get the data from the flight records.
Yeah, we'll try if you really want to, dude. I'm so down to delve into this.
So I'm going to... So what do you think? It's the FAA?
I don't remember the website, but I know you can literally look up videos, flight patterns with... connected with fires or something. I don't know. But a lot of these flight patterns, at least the one in Oregon and some of the Canadian fires, there's like a plane that just so happens to go in the same pattern, and then all of a sudden the fire starts in that same pattern.
Okay.
And in Hawaii, I guess there was like, I don't know if it was a plane in that one that they're suggesting, but they're saying it was a direct energy weapon. So I don't know. We can keep going into it. What is this?
Oh, this is the image of the flight and fire patterns in Maui.
Oh, that one. What the hell is that?
That's just showing where it was burned.
So,
but you were saying something about Oprah's property not getting touched.
Yeah. So Oprah's property didn't get touched. I think Will Smith. Who who else? There's a bunch of like really famous people that have property on Maui, and none of it got touched. But then at the same time, beginning of the year, Hawaii was trying to like do something like buy the property to build the first smart city or something.
Okay.
And then the people wouldn't sell, and good for them. You know what I mean? They did not sell. And then the water was shut off during the middle of the fire. Like people were trying to, with their garden hose, trying to save their properties and shit. And then all of a sudden the water just stops.
So, it's fairly easy to poke holes in this conspiracy you're getting.
Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Right, so water shutting off. Okay, so what happens if the fire consumed the
But
water
why would they
station,
shut off the water to the fire trucks that were trying to fight the fire?
No, think about it. Fire trucks hook up to the fire hydrants in order to get water, right? Because
but
the water
they also have water in the truck.
Okay, yeah, but
that they need to refill.
But that's a limited time use,
right?
Yes,
but why would they shut the water off if they're trying to fight the fire?
What if they just ran out in the water truck?
They didn't. There's literally videos and shit of these people shutting off the water that I've seen.
Like going to a truck and shutting off the water?
No, not the truck. Like, oh man, I'm gonna have to find the videos.
You're talking like a fire hydrant or water at like the house, right?
But, so there's videos of people and the water just shuts off. I'm trying to word this right, man.
Okay, water shuts off, but that's fine. But let's say it's municipal water, city supplying water.
Yeah.
Right? So you have water pumps or you have a water tower, right? That's typically how you force it out. But let's say it's a water pump system where it has electrical pumps that force water to pressurize the lines to get water out to places.
Yeah.
Let's say that's consumed in the fire. They have no more electricity getting to the motors. Motors shut off. Water supply goes bye-bye.
Okay.
Right? So I understand what you're saying. It's not that they shut it off. It doesn't make sense to me. But it does.
It doesn't make sense to me why people would just shut it off on purpose.
They're not shutting it off on purpose.
How do you know?
But how do you know it wasn't?
So I'm telling you.
How do you know it wasn't a fire that consumed a power line that dropped off the
it
power
very well
could have, right?
It very well could have. I'm not saying that didn't happen, though.
Well,
I just like to argue with you.
Well, I understand, but what I'm saying is it's very easy to think of a logical explanation that doesn't require.
Okay, so then explain to me the burn pattern. The burn pattern.
I'm not going to argue on that one. It could be geological features where like it's going uphill and there's like maybe some rock differences that are able to block some heat and keep the fire going one way.
Oh, and then there's this. I'm sorry.
Just saying, like there's multiple reasons why things could happen, but it is interesting that you theorize that there's flight patterns that the fire is following the same flight patterns. I would love to see that.
I gotta. We'll if you want to next week we'll go into it more. I gotta find everything. This is literally I wasn't preparing to do this video today. There was damn it. What was I just gonna say? Oh, I don't know if this one's true or not, but I read this article at Real Raw News, and this one's on there. It's about you look it up right now if you want.
Well, hold on real quick before we move on. So, where was it? It was hilarious.
What?
Because I've always been saying that someone's going to eventually be claiming the Maui fires as a climate change. Maui fires, not just due to climate change, not just climate change.
I think the elites did it.
Oh my God! But everyone knew as soon as that fire happened. I mean, the same thing's going on with the crap up in Canada. Those fires are being set as climate change. Well, I'm sorry. The easy answer on the fires in Canada are the Canadian government is horrible, just like California's forest management are horrible. Management. They don't allow clearing out of the underbrush, which just basically makes for this massive amount of kindling. So when fires do hop off, they're popping. I mean,
that makes sense.
Stupid, right? So it's basically government failure at that point, not climate change. Is actually the main cause of that. But they're gonna push their climate narrative no matter what.
See, that's fucked up, man. Like, just tell the truth is my biggest thing. I hate all the lies.
What gets me is two things can be true at once. Two things can be true at once. Yeah. Is the Earth warming up? Sure.
Yeah,
that is true. We are coming out of the last ice age. We're still in the upward climb of the last ice age. Not many people know that. That's where we're at. So the world is going to naturally get warmer and warmer and warmer.
Well, that's just natural, right?
Yeah, it's completely natural. The Earth's been covered in ice like 7 freaking times. We've gone through 7 ice ages. This is a natural cyclical nature of our planet. That could be true. Could it be true that carbon emissions are being increased because of the fuel consumptions that humans do. That is true.
Yeah.
Do both of those things mean that correlation does not always equal causation, right? And just because 94% of hand-picked scientists agree on this one thing doesn't necessarily mean that one thing is correct. Yeah. Science is not a consensus. I like the left's always thought is science is a consensus. I mean, they did the crap with COVID. They're doing stuff with climate. Science is not a consensus. It doesn't matter how many people agree. Science is about testing theories and proposing different theories and looking and trying to best explain what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So it's just very frustrating me. You can have two things that are true at once.
Yeah.
But the other thing that they don't take into account is back in New York, when New York City was first founded, it was horse-drawn carriages, right? Mm-hmm. And then automobiles invented. Mm-hmm. Okay. One issue that New York City had with horse-drawn carriages was horse crap.
Yo, I remember, yeah.
Right? Too much horse crap being in the streets. Well, how do we get rid of this? How do we fix it? Blah, blah, blah. Technological invention happened. The automobile. Bam. Stop the freaking overloading of horse poop in New York City. Humans will invent their way to adapt to the situations that they're living in, right?
Yeah, definitely.
There are technological advancements that will happen. The funny thing is the left only pushes technological advancements that they want. We already have a technology that is green energy, that is much more efficient.
Which one?
Nuclear. Mm-hmm. But when's the last time a nuclear plant was built in the United States?
Shit, I don't know.
If I remember correct, it's 1972.
Oh, I was going to say 1970s, but
yeah. If I remember correctly, it was 1972. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission will not go forward on any new nuclear projects. The left, as much as they hate oil and whatnot, and I get the reasoning why.
Yeah.
It makes no sense why they hate nuclear energy. Makes no sense.
Because they can't make enough money off of it?
I don't think it's about the energy. I don't think it's about being clean. I think it's about control.
Definitely.
Right? They don't want us to have access to cheap energy because cheap energy means that we don't have to listen to them per se. If they control means to electricity. So let's say, we got all these windmills out here. Oh. But you don't agree with my thought process, your power's shut off because we need it over here.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you. It's a form of control. It's, again, going back to domestic terrorism. They want to be able to control, to ruin your life, to make you submit to what they want.
Good luck, man.
So, just real interesting. Right. Sorry, that was off on a tangent.
No, you're fine. This whole section's about tangents and conspiracy.
Yeah.
I love this part of the day.
I do, too. What are you trying to look up there, bud?
This right here. So...
Maui massacre?
Yeah, okay, so we're talking about the Hawaiian Islands, right?
Yep.
Well, I came across this real raw news. Well, actually, I came across it on TikTok at first. Somebody was talking about it, and I was like, this can't be a real news article. So then I looked it up, and sure as shit, dude, this is a real news article.
United States Marines in Maui have been firsthand atrocities committed by the deep state. Bloated, bullet-ridden bodies floating face down in a crimson tide. Very colorful word.
Right? That's what I said. Like I said, I don't know if this one's true or like...
Hawaii National Guardsmen rummaging
one.
Through the pockets of dead islanders and tourists. FEMA and the Red Cross forbidding citizens access to nearby food, water, and shelter.
And I've seen hang on, sorry to interrupt, but I've seen videos on TikTok from the actual people in Maui right now talking about this. The FEMA and Red Cross forbidding them to access any nearby food and donations and stuff. They're like not allowing them to have it. So unless like a whole bunch of people are just lying, I kind of believe that part.
Fair.
Okay, go ahead.
On the front street in
Lahaina.
I'm going to butcher these words. I apologize.
You're okay.
A uniformed police officer shoots a pedestrian in the back for unknown reasons. The cop then spots a bystander filming the incident on a cell phone and shoots him too. Well, I hate to say it, but some cops are just asswipes and clowns.
That is true.
A bullet strikes his cranium as he digs into a man's pockets and tries to yank a wedding band off his lifeless, swollen finger. He touches his hand to his forehead and glances at the blood-stained fingers in disbelief.
See, some of it just seems like they're laying it on thick. Like, I don't know.
Like, this is...
Like, this is a real news article.
I I don't know, man. Just the way it's written
sounds like a novel, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it's like more like a murder mystery kind of writing.
So on
right?
the yeah. So the TikTok video I saw, it had this. Well, they referenced this news article first, and then it came into a video of a National Guard or something, of some form of military in Maui, and they had this really weird patch on their their uniforms. I don't know. It was just like, it intrigued me so much I had to look into it a little more.
Well, so this should give us actually ways to corroborate this.
Oh, there you go.
Right. General Eric Smith at Camp Pendleton ordered Marines in Maui to investigate claims the Hawaii National Guard and FEMA were terrorizing disaster victims. Okay. So
let's break this down, buddy.
We'd want to, that'd be a great way, because he was saying that they witnessed it immediately. So there's going to, if he actually ordered this, there's going to be records of the order.
Yeah.
There may be reports on what the Marines actually reported.
You think that this was real, though, that like if they were just shooting people in Maui, that they'd actually report on it, though?
Well, so that kind of ties back into the conspiracy theory that China actually started the fire with a laser from space, right?
Oh, I don't think it was them.
Well, I don't think it was them either, but I'm just saying, like, so let's say that there is an outside influence that's doing this, and these guys are living in, like, basically a war zone, and the rest of America is not realizing that it's basically a war zone, that these little hints are coming out, and it's being phrased like this and not being told to us just because of what's going on might be actually worse than what we know in the States, because of the media lies to us, right?
Oh, yeah.
The government lies to us.
And that's what's fucked up, man. You don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
I sure as fuck don't believe CNN or Fox.
No.
So it's like you see something.
But at the same time, I've never heard of the real raw news. I've heard of it, but I've never used them as a source before. So, I mean, I'm going to want to follow up on this before saying it. It's just interesting to get it out there.
Exactly.
Go ahead and check out the article, but then I would also go ahead and take snippets of it that's going to lead you to confirm whether or not this is actually a real story, because it's written just so
that's what
odd.
I was saying. I was like, what the hell?
Like, just the way it's written makes me think that it's not a true story.
Yeah. Oh, and then going back to the Hawaiian fires or whatever. So the place burns down, right? And then literally, I guess the day before, there's a AI generated, if I remember right, an AI generated book about the fires published.
What?
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but yeah, the day before the fire, or 2 days before the fire, there's this. It's a Hawaii fire I think it's in Maui, and it's just like it literally landscapes everything that already happened. People are running with that one.
Interesting. The simple fact, I think the reason why conspiracy theories are on the rise and why people like doing it now is because they're more believable than what you can hear from the news, right?
Facts.
I personally like them because I like the logical arguments you got to go through to see whether or not those are actually right. So you can step by step and you kind of like flow chart it out. Like, if this happens, this happens, this happens.
The red
right?
yarn, like one of those detectives.
I don't necessarily believe in them. But I do
Some
love
of them are
through,
really fucking
like the Clinton murder one. That one's sorry, I'm going back on this. But so some of those are actually like, okay, those are very plausible.
Yeah.
Downright probable. But then there are some that are so extreme, it's just like, no. So I love that one for the simple fact that the logical exercise you have to do to actually like go to it is very fun to go through for me.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely entertaining, and I'm not saying that this is real or not. Because if it is, this is up. You know what I mean?
I think the other reason why conspiracy theories are on the rise is because the left has taken the term and tried to make it as like a taboo topic, like, it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
When in all reality, it's just another thought process. It's another theorization of what's going on. And unfortunately for the left and the news media, is most of the time when they label something as a conspiracy theory,
it turns out to be true.
It turns out to be true. I think it's like a 60-40 split where it's like true to actually wrong. Right.
That's horrible.
But
they don't even have 50-50.
But it's just another stake in the coffin of mainstream media. Mainstream media is dead.
Done.
CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, these are all garbage things that I listen to. And then go and
look into it yourself.
And then I have to go look into it myself. And then I'm laughing because of how absurd their takes are.
It's different, yeah. And that's the way this one's conveyed, but I don't know, man. If, like I said, if this is true,
this really looks like it's trying to be like a graphic novel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's so
the blood
weird.
stained ring onto the forehead as he knelt by the body.
It's almost like it's like a very weak author just trying to get going because the flowery terms or the
graphic
descriptions that he's trying to use are kind of mundane.
They seem a little over the top
and extreme at the same time. Like they're like you could word that to convey the imagery a lot better with
a little more professional, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just I'm sorry to whoever wrote this. I'm just
go to the bottom. Who wrote it?
Michael
Baxter.
What's
up with Baxter?
I don't know. Let's see. Who is this guy?
I don't know. Let's find out. See, we're gonna do some of. August 17th. This was published. Today's what, the 20th?
Yeah. So let's just go and search who Michael Baxter is.
Michael Baxter for Real Raw News. We're pulling your card, homeboy. I don't think that's the same one.
Michael Baxter's real identity wasn't easy to learn. He wore the camouflaged mask throughout the live discussion of Greg. Yeah.
Is that him?
That's him. Baxter's
real identity. It says Nibiru News.
I don't know. Nibiru News. Oh, Nibiru. What? Oh my God. Okay, so Nibiru is
scaring me right now.
Nibiru is the conspiracy that there's a twin Earth that has the eccentric orbit that every like 2,000 years or so comes back in and shares like the space with the Earth and whatnot, and that it has like the demons and stuff that take over the world.
The fallen angels.
Yeah. So Nibiru News. So
you don't have to scare me like that.
I'm sorry, man. It's just absolutely hilarious that we're sitting here thinking like, oh, this sounds like so weird, and then his channel, his news source is Nibiru.
Are you
News.
sure that this is the same Baxter?
Right. A look behind the real raw news.
Oh, I didn't even see that part.
Fabricated.
Okay.
Right. So that's him. So that's why I'm just excited. It's like, okay, we're saying this seems over the top, and then the simple fact that his channel
Nibiru News
is like an over the top conspiracy theory of a second Earth is absolutely nuts.
Dude, there's so much shit that the government lies to us, though. I could believe that there's like another fucking planet that we don't know about.
Maybe he's got an alien or an antenna underneath that
fucking turban. What is that?
It looks like. Oh, you know what? That's just a picture. he's bald and it looks like it's a hat, like a turban. Maybe there's an antenna underneath.
We're going to hell for this.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
Hanging what's that below it? PolitiFact. Hanging guillotines and Gitmo, going behind Real Raw News. Raw News story. Man, Michael Baxter, a
pseudonym. The website book. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So he was a top editor at the Miami Herald as well.
Oh, wow. So he's got some like...
Yeah, but it seemed... Well, here, let's just check out his Twitter real quick. All right, sorry, his X.
Yeah, do not disrespect Elon like that. It's X, bitch.
Yeah. I don't want to have to sign in or sign up, Jackwagon.
Never mind. Next time we'll catch you.
Yeah. Okay, so it seems like he's got some.
He's got some qualifications.
He's got some background, but it also looks like he might be a little bit of an extreme conspiracy theorist that you may or may not want to just deeply double-check his work.
Well, that's why I told you. I was like, dude, have you read that shit? Like, I'm not too sure about this one, but dude, there's a lot of people running wild with it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm not saying it's true either.
Yeah.
So you guys do your own research on that one.
We're just bringing you the topic. You go ahead and make your own decisions.
I thought it was a good read, though.
That's interesting.
I read it. I was like, the blood. I won't get over the blood stain ring to the forehead like he's doing
swollen fingers.
Yeah, dude. I was like,
I'm just like, hold on. Didn't he just say that he just shot him? I'm pretty sure that his fingers are not going to swell right after he gets shot. He's going to have to take some time in order to actually produce the gases and. Right, so
even I'm not that conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean? I'm not in there that deep, but
I am. That's why I love going through them. Is because you have to think logically. Like that doesn't even make sense, logically speaking. That's not biologically factual.
I just like a different like the reason why I like conspiracy theories so much is because I like the different view. Because some of them you're like, well, fuck, okay, that might be okay.
Yeah.
It just kind of gives a twist on life, you know. I love that shit.
Oh my God, this is too funny.
Anyways.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to end it.
We love you guys.
Hope you enjoyed the content. Please leave us a comment on anything you want to hear us discuss. If something you disagree with, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Till then,
Peace.